I want to mention, for those of you who may not be aware, AFCI, while a global organisation, actively collaborates with other regional film networks, some of which are in the room today. So this includes AFCNet, the Asian Film Commission Network, the Latin American Film Commission Network, the European Film Commission Network, Film USA, and we're currently working with Africa to stand up a network there too. So as you all know, we're stronger together. Again, another reminder about these QR codes. Make sure you are scanning the codes and signing up to get updates regarding AFCI. I'd like to welcome our last panel to the stage shortly. For moderating this panel, we have Gabiella Greisinger from KFTV and Screen International, who will introduce her panelists from our country of honour, Switzerland. This panel will discuss the interesting topic of dispelling location stereotypes. So please welcome these panelists to the stage: Tristan, Dino, Nicolas, Niccolò and Michaela. Oh, they're all coming. So if you could give them a round of applause, please. Thank you, panelists.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to this panel on dispelling location stereotypes in Switzerland. When you picture Switzerland, there are a few images that come to mind straight away. You have snow-capped mountains, idyllic towns, chocolate being some of them. And when a country or a region has such clear and evocative imagery, it can often be a challenge to combat those stereotypes, to draw different kinds of productions to your regions, especially to make them stick around and use the incredible infrastructure and crew that the region has. So today, to talk about how they've achieved that, we have our panelists who are going to introduce themselves. Go ahead.
Hello all, my name is Dino Malacarne. I'm the managing director of the Film Commission in Zurich.
Hi, Tristan Albrecht, head of the Film Commission in Valais.
Hi, Nicolas Burlet. I'm producer in Nadasdi Film Geneva, and we are doing mainly animation.
Hi everybody, I'm Niccolò Castelli, thank you for asking us. I'm managing director of Ticino Film Commission, the Italian part of Switzerland.
Hello, I'm Michaela Pini, and I am a Swiss producer working in the Italian part of Switzerland, but also in the German part, let's say around Zurich.
Wonderful. Before we get started, we have a couple of videos from our panelists just to fully immerse you in what it's like to film in Switzerland. So if we could go ahead and play those videos, please.
Schauen wir, wer die Chefs sind, aber fangen nicht an.
Non hai capito niente di macchina, adesso fai vedere che capisci. Elettrica! Ma no, benzina!
Signori, è elettrica e benzina.
Deve essere un albergo, un bar di lusso. Potrebbe essere pure un bed and breakfast.
So we saw some of those stereotypical and idyllic landscapes in those videos. We also were treated to some other, some more interesting and diverse underused areas. But I want to start firstly with talking about the stereotype. You have the beautiful mountains and the towns. And I was wondering for my panelists, there must be a positive side to having such a strong and clear, image for producers when they want to come film in your region.
Thank you very much. Yes, as you saw in the video, you can say that we play with those stereotypes. We have mountains. I come from the Valley. I come from the south of Switzerland, where we have mountains, we have snow. Please, sorry for the voice, but we had a big party yesterday for Sauvage. I selected in Cannes, so my voice is going to be a little shaky. We have mountains, we have snow, we have nature, we have all those things, and we play with those things. But this is the good thing, because we have a lot of production who wants to come because of that, and because of this nature and these landscapes we have. But on the other side, we really want to break those stereotypes, because it's very important to see that Valley has something else than only those stereotypes.
And also, Ticino Film Commission exists since 10 years now, and it was very important to have these postcard images, because it was also the starting point to have production coming in Ticino and Switzerland, southern part of Switzerland, to shoot. But at the end, the problem at the beginning was, and also before the Ticino Film Commission was born, the problem was production company was coming just for make some establishing shots or just some sequences and then going back, because they didn't know they could also shot all the film in Ticino or in Switzerland. And that's why we are trying to as you see in the video, we try also to mix the two things, to see there is the stereotypes, there is the mountains, there is everything, but there is also professionality, there is also know-how, and there is also a scenery that you don't imagine at the first of all when you think about Switzerland.
Yeah, I think, the stereotype, the mountain, whatever, it's what makes first also our co-producer come to Switzerland, but then I think what offers also Switzerland, this other not stereotype landscape, it helps us also to convince our co-producers to come, even though they are not looking for mountains, for snow, for hiding and things like this. And of course our territory is not big, so there are a few things that we can't shoot in Switzerland, but most of them in a maybe a reduced scale, it's there. And I have to admit, I've been working internationally for maybe 15 years now, and the first 5-7 years was a little bit hard to bring the co-producer, to convince them to come to shoot in Switzerland. First of all, because they thought it was too small, and secondary also because they thought it is too expensive, which in a way it is true. Switzerland is expensive, but we have a cash rebate system that pays up to front, so kind of good. And also the rules for the spend, they are not so strict as in other countries. And thanks to the Film Commission here, we really managed to bring more and more co-producers to shoot to Ticino. And without the Film Commission, it would have been a lot more hard, because you have to invest a lot to show them, to show to the co-producer the territories, to show them another Switzerland that they don't know yet. So thank you, Film Commissions.
You're welcome.
We're going to touch on some of the other stereotypes, especially around expenses later on as well. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about your lovely film Sauvage, and how unique that was in terms of shooting in Switzerland and not making use of the snow-capped mountains. So if you could give us a little bit more information about that.
Yeah, sure, we're quite far of the stereotype, because we did the Borneo forest, Kalimantan forest in Martigny, in Valias, very far from the mountain. And in a pop-up studio of 3,000 square meters. And the stereotypes, it was useful to bring the best team on Valias, because for animation it's 1 year of shooting, 50 people, and they have to live in one place. And sure, it's not. We didn't shoot the mountain. We didn't shoot the quality of life. But the people came in Valias during all this time to convince them to come here. It was good to show the image and the picture of Valias. Say, okay, here you will have a good life during 1 year, even if the shooting was Borneo forest. We use also a little bit the stereotype, in fact.
There is also another kind of stereotypes that we are using also. It's the kind of to be precise, to be on time, also the non-disclosure, the confidentiality. So this kind of stereotypes is helping also us. Sometimes we are also using our stereotypes and in a kind they are true, but we are trying to play with them.
I think also when we talk about the stereotypes of Switzerland, they can vary region to region. I know we talked a little bit about Zurich and how there's a very specific stereotype around that, even that specific region, which is sort of different to what your fellow panelists have spoken about.
Yes, so yeah, we have Zurich in our state, the biggest city of Switzerland. So, and the big banks are there, and there's a big stereotype for Zurich. So it's all about banks and money and stuff. But that's not really the case. Zurich is very diverse. So we have like location-wise a big palette of stuff to choose from, and we are a big city in film producing. So we have more than 800 companies working in some or the other way in film in Zurich. So we can provide like the whole chain of film producing and post-production in Zurich. So then the thing is like it's expensive and stuff. Maybe it is expensive or expensive elsewhere, but you can like save money because everything is there, everything is close, everything is tight, so you don't have to go long ways to find the right solution for your projects.
Yeah, on our side, as I say, that the stereotype is really, and it's not only a stereotype, it's the truth. We have mountains, we have nature, and people are coming for that. So you're showing those pictures now. It's very good for us to have Sauvage. Sauvage was shot for 7 or 9 months or 7 months in Valais. It was inside, no mountains, nothing to see outside, as you can see. And it's a good thing for us now to go out, come in Cannes, or come, as a promotion for us to say, yeah, of course we don't have studios to shoot, but still they made it and they are in Cannes, so you can make an animation film even if we don't have that studio. I know it's not that easy, but you talked about the stereotype of living in Valais. This is also true. It's a quality of life that is simple. We don't have a big industry, so everything is simple. If you want a solution, you will find it, and we are eager to welcome production. So we make it easier, for the moment at least.
And maybe something. Maybe because we are so small, I don't know what you think, because we are a small country. You were talking about distances, of course. For example, in Ticino, you have mountain, you have palms, you have the feeling you are in the south. But it's also, we are not complicated. We are not complicated people. The bureaucracy, it's not complicated in Switzerland comparing to other countries. So we are precise, but are not complicated, which I think this makes the producer life easier.
One of the things I'm curious about is, do you find that that's something that you have to go out of your way to explain to incoming producers? Is that something that they're receptive to hearing as a benefit to their production?
On my side, more and more, I have a lot of meetings here, a lot of meetings with U.S. producers, and that's the first thing, because before they were not really interested to come to Switzerland or even Europe, but more and more we get them and they're receptive. I think there's always this same thing that we are too expensive, but as I say, time is money. So you come to us, we're in the middle of Europe, we go to Zurich in 2 hours, we go to Geneva in 1 hour and a half. We're not complicated, as Nicolas said, so it makes everything easier, and it takes less time to do things. So time is money. It's also a way for a production to gain time and money at the same time.
Please.
Yeah, and we can make things possible. So, like Michaela said, it's not like we're strict, of course. Rules are rules, but we can bend the rules a little bit and make stuff.
We can bend them.
Yeah, we can bend them. Yes, and make stuff possible. Yeah.
I think in our experience, in 10 years, what I saw, it's a mouth propaganda. It's very strong. At the beginning, production companies are coming to Switzerland just to make an establishing shot for mountains and so, and then they see that in 24 hours you can organize to, I don't know, to close the street and to make everything possible really very quick. And then they coming back in Rome and Berlin, I don't know where, and then saying, okay, well, it's really not complicated at all. And then next year is coming someone new, and so I think it's a good propaganda, but it takes time. And it's also interesting because what I'm feeling is also that now we have a lot of production. They are searching for something unique, something specific. And for example, make the example from Ticino, where the Italian part of Switzerland, we're Switzerland, but we're also Italy, we're in between, and I think it's interesting also in a creative side to have a kind of place that is unique, because it's Italy, but it's not Italy, Switzerland is not Switzerland. So I think also directors, creative designers also, they are searching for something diverse, and we're also pointing on that.
And maybe I think that maybe a few years ago, when the film industry was really growing, and it was huge big production were set at were happening also in Europe, maybe Switzerland was a little bit okay. We don't have this big space to do this big base camp, that the big production company wants, with huge big trailers and a lot of cars and whatever. But I think that nowadays the industry in general is trying to get back on a smaller size, on a smaller dimension, because everybody wants, to protect the climate, and because we want to be green, and also because we want to be more dynamic. And I think Switzerland really fits in this new way, or the la tendance, the tendency to want to produce a little bit smaller, maybe.
Nicolas, I have a question for you specifically. Were there other regions where you looked at as a option instead of Switzerland for Sauvage, and what was it about Valais that drew you in?
Because in Valias we found the good places, because 3,000 square meters is not so easy to find. A good price, very good price. And also because, again, the quality of life in Geneva or Lausanne is very nice. But for the team, for the group life, and also in Valias people are very nice. It's not city. I think on the crew we had a lot of people work on the Del Toro movie in Portland, on the movie of Wes Anderson in London, and was totally different. When the day is finished, everybody is living everywhere. Because animation movie is not like live action movie. It's quite office work. We start at 9, we finish at 6. We have 1 hour at lunchtime. It's really during 9 months. And in a small city like we were, it was so nice. People was going out at evening, was going to the swimming pool. At weekends, you have some like to do hiking or to mountains. Some go to the lake, not so far. It was very good life, and also because that, and also because we have a film commission in Valias, and really help us to find for the place to live, for the paper, because we have more than 15 nationalities on the shooting. People from New Zealand, people from US, people from England is not so far, but now is quite far. And it was very helpful. In Switzerland, there's not so many film commission. I think 3 here is only one, I think. I'm not sure, but I think. And it's very helpful also for that. And we don't have that now in Geneva or Lausanne. It was very good for us.
Can I make just like an example? I completely agree with what he said. I remember 10 years ago we shot a movie in Bellinzona, a small city in Ticino, and the main character was played from a very famous actor in Italy, Alessio Boni, and he was used to be there with a truck, with a driver coming to the hotel, bodyguards and everything. And after the first day, he saw that everybody of the crew was coming to the set in bicycle, by foot, having the coffee in the bar near the stage. and then starting to work on this, he said, okay, I can make also this live. And after 2-3 days, he asked to production to come, to have also a bicycle, to come with a bicycle. And it makes a lot, really, it makes a lot of the feeling you have on the set. It makes a lot of also the propaganda we had of Ticino, because he spread the word. All the actors in Rome, they know that if you come to Switzerland to shoot, it's an easy way. And I think it's one of our unique sell point, I would like to say. It's important, but yeah, it takes time to promote this, but it's an important point.
I think that's really interesting as well, that you talk about it being a unique selling point. That and a stereotype so often can run hand in hand, right? You do have a stereotype of life in Switzerland, of the people in Switzerland, but when it is reflected in the way that the crew work and the way that the production runs, then it can also be a really big benefit as well. I wonder, is there any sort of a negative stereotype about the crew or the people or the way in which production runs that you find you have to come up against and sort of educate incoming productions that no, actually we run this way?
Yeah, I think it's our part, if someone international is coming, that we connect them to the right people that we know, and I think they trust us in that way, and they can choose the right crews to work with, and the crews in Switzerland learn with international productions. And so I don't think that there is really a negative stereotype regarding the crews or the working ability or so.
Maybe sometimes bigger countries think that we don't have good technicians in Switzerland, because what kind of film, what have you been shooting? You don't shoot anything over there, you know, and then actually have to say we have super good sound engineer that, for example, that work abroad, that they get prize. But this is maybe something, if people don't know Switzerland, they don't even think there is a film industry, and so they might think that we don't have good technicians, but we have really good technician with a lot of experience also abroad. Even, I don't want to say better than in another country, but because I was for a long time line producer, because we cannot only work in Switzerland since it's small, we are obliged to make experience abroad, and this really helps to be more professional. So we have a lot of great professionals.
Yeah, and that's our part again, excuse me, to make them visible, you know.
And we quite have the habits to work with international crew, because in Switzerland we already have 3 languages, almost 4, and already we have to talk in English, even with my broken English. But we have quite habits for the multicultural co-production, because we are multicultural. He speaks Italian, he speaks German.
Yes, exactly. And actually, I just want to briefly, I believe we have one more video from Sauvage. If we could play that up and then see what it was like to create something unstereotypical.
Ngân cắt duy nhà nhìn ngân có bờ gần cái ít bờ gần ta na la luôn em hao cơ.
Giant canine do biolo.
Giant canine maquiquette. J'étais en train de me galérer à vous pister, et puis ce magnifique sus barbatus est offert à moi. Pas pu résister.
Je te présente Jeanne.
Ton père est monstre inquiet, il est pas loin de la fartus. Bon, bah là on est mal barré, j'ai pas de téléphone moi, c'est carrément le diable ce truc. Tu te souviens pas de moi?
I mean, the attention to detail in that is just incredible. And I think it speaks to what we were just saying about the idea of having those highly skilled people to work. Do you find that, I mean, you mentioned this earlier, that a lot of the way of dispelling these stereotypes is by drawing in these atypical productions. Is that a challenge to attract productions that do other things than the establishing shots like you've mentioned?
For us, yeah, that kind of movie, for example, it's impossible because they don't think it's something they could do in Valais. I had contact with people who wanted who make animation film, and they told me, yeah, that's very nice, but you don't have a studio over there. So I say, yes, but they just shot Sauvage. You can check. And right away they say, okay, so then maybe we should meet and see what can be done. I want to say something about that, and because there's the stereotypes and the things that people think from the outside, but it comes sometimes also from the inside. People don't know what it means, for example, to make that kind of job. It's a huge work. I don't really know animation film, but I think one thing that was done on this production, and that was very good, it was some kind of field trip that Nicolas made inside the animation studio that was built, and people could come, local community could come, schools could come and visit what was done and understand what it means to make that kind of movie. And I think it's very important to do that, because sometimes the stereotypes is not only outside, but it comes also inside. And as I would say my state is more for tourism and skiing and things like that, sometimes we just don't believe that we can make those kind of things in our state. And that's very important for us to show that, yes, we can do it. We can make those films.
Absolutely. If I think also Ticino, for example, when you ask to the municipality of a city, I would like to see this old factory, abandoned old factory, and so they are looking, why? So usually you have to sell the beautiful lake of Lugano, and then they have also to learn that we are communicating with another language. There is not the touristic language.
Do you find that there's any sort of, you talked briefly about being multicultural and speaking different languages, and obviously that is a big bonus. Is that something you find that people are aware of as a selling point / stereotype within Switzerland, or they don't even really think about that too much?
If I speak with my language, they're not aware, because a lot of people, they don't know that we speak also Italian in Switzerland.
I think that here the German side is going to win, because everyone speaks about Zurich when they come to Switzerland, when they know Switzerland, because sometimes they mix with Sweden. That happens too. So, but most of the time, I think they think that we speak only German. Right. And I am from the French part, so.
Yeah, and they're always very surprised, and then that we can also switch language on set and things like this. Yeah, this is something.
Yeah, and that's a huge plus for us. I mean, yeah, we can cover basically everyone.
We talked briefly about the other stereotype of Switzerland being expensive. Do you have any sort of, anecdotal experiences where you can talk about a time where having that benefit, was a savings for you, that multicultural, your crews, talent, stuff like that?
I do have an example. We just had a Netflix series in Valais, and Valais, my state, is German and French, so both languages at the same time. And the crew was coming from France. Part of it was from France, and they had to deal in the upper part of my state, which speak a very funny German, and it's impossible if you don't speak. I don't speak this language, but it's something else. But if you don't speak the language, and if you don't know the people over there, you cannot deal with them. It's impossible. So we had some French people from France. They were trying to deal with them. It was impossible. So then we have in my commission, we have someone who really knows very well the place, and he dealt with the people over there, and things went smoothly after that. But again, it was a gain of time, and that was very important for the crew, because they were wasting time and money.
Yeah, money-wise, I think it's important for us at the work as a commission to find good prices and to make good deals, like for everyone, to stay in Zurich and have like the deals with the hotels and with the restaurants and whatever it takes. Yeah.
And everybody tell Switzerland is expensive country, but try to take a coffee here in Cannes. In Geneva is really less expensive. Look, it's not, is an image we have, but sure, salary is quite high, but the social expenses is very low, by example, and it's a compensation, and the rest of life, not everything is expensive, in fact.
So it depends also with kind of part of Switzerland, in which period. If we are able to shoot maybe in a touristic area, but not really in the touristic moment, so we can always find deals, and we can also, the time is money, as Tristan said, and I make just an example. We have the Amazon Prime series in Lugano, and they have to block all the city for an action sequence, and then they can rain cam the last day, and they asked us to block 2 hours more on the city center, all the traffic jam moment. I had a phone call with the mayor of the city, and he said, okay, let's do 2 hours more. You can imagine how would be expensive, I don't know, to shoot this in Rome or in Milan, to have 2 hours the city center block for an action sequence. That's its money.
It's interesting you say that too, because I think one of the stereotypes we envision is the small town mentality. Everybody knows everybody, but in a way it works to your benefit, right? You can just ring up the mayor and have that happen. So that's an interesting sort of practical way that you're able to use that stereotype to your advantage as well.
Absolutely.
And we have really, in Switzerland, we have a really good proximity with the mayor, with even last day I was dancing with the Minister of Culture, by example. But I can talk, I can tell. It's very easy. In France, by example, I know very well, it's no way. With two bodyguards, there's no way. Here in Switzerland, you can talk with people, you can phone and have important people to solve your problem. It's really easy to do that.
It's very important to say that everybody, also not so many people knows that we are a confederation, so we don't have to ask to burn to have a permission. It's really every canton have his own policy, his own transport official transportation institution. So it's really close. It's really based on cantons and municipalities.
Yeah, and this makes things also possible in a kind of short time.
But then again, with that, you see the importance of film commission, but because in Zurich, he knows how to talk with Zurich people. I wouldn't be able to do that. In Valais, you have to know how to appeal to not only the language, it's also to understand the culture, because we are together. I don't know how we work, guys, but we do get along, but we are very different. But we somehow work together and compromise and find ways. And this goes to when we have to help film production to come.
I was going to ask, actually, in many territories, there's the stereotype of different regions competing, not getting along, even entities not getting along. Would you say that that's something that is stereotypical of Switzerland? And is it a true stereotype or not?
No, we break it up. Look at us. We're sitting here on stage all together. Lucerne is also here in the crowd, and there is another commission in Bern forming now. So no, we're we're becoming more and more in the unity. Of course, we have like the competition from project to project, but we try to work together. And Switzerland is too small for too big of a competition.
Yeah. There is no place.
And it could be also interesting because, if you have a movie with really urban sequences, I don't know, you can go in Zurich, and in 1 hour by train or by car, you can go in a big ski resort in Zermatt by Tristan in Valais, and then you need a lake or you need a palm tree area, really Mediterranean, and you come in Ticino, and everything it's 1 or 2 hours. And that's why we are working together. I remember two or 3 months ago, it was a heavy rain for a Bollywood movie in area of Bern, in Interlaken, and they called us, and the afternoon we managed to reshoot the sequence because it was heavy rain in Bern, in a castle of Bellinzona. So they managed to bring all the crew on the southern part of Switzerland. Was sunny day, and we can collaborate in this way also.
I was going to ask, what sort of advice would you give to other film commissioners or producers who are looking to draw new types of productions to their regions or make use of underutilized areas in their regions? Because I'm sure you must have had some challenges, combating those stereotypes and drawing new productions into your areas. So what advice would you offer?
That's a good question.
Maybe do you use the cliche to break it up? So to use the cliche to start things, and then since they are there and you make a location scouting, try to show them something more, something different. We are trying always. You ask me for A, I give you A, but I give you also B and C and D, and maybe you will choose A, but maybe you will choose also B, and there is the first way to break the stereotypes.
Yeah, I mean, we have to bring it here. We have to bring production to Switzerland because of the landscape that they know, and then, as you were saying, showing where you could stay longer, you could shoot this and this and this, and look at that. It's kind of easy, and mostly, and we know we have a film industry. This is really important. And then we had to have the chance to show that we have a film industry.
And maybe the last thing, it thinks it's also a lot of film commission doesn't think about working also with the production in the communication and distribution. We are trying to work a lot with this because it's the only way also to accompany the movies and to make promotion. So we don't want only to shoot backstage videos and nice postcard, but sometimes we also try to be there also with festivals and with promotions, with premiere. It's important to be there with the movies because it's the only advertising that we have.
Maybe just something very small. As a producer, what I can say, what are a bit different the film commission in Switzerland compared to other film commission in bigger country is that since we are smaller, you can really rely on the film commission not only at the right beginning, but also you kind of give support to the production also during the shooting. And this is not something that other film commission can afford because they have too many projects, and this is really a special value.
I think that was a really good point that you made, because one of the things I was just going to ask is that there is also a stereotype about film commissions in different regions and what they can or cannot do, and there must be a way to also dispel those and prove how multifaceted a film commission can really be. And so from your point of view, you said aiding in distribution, aiding in promotion. Are there any other ways in which you feel like, as film commissioners, not just for your region, but as this being your job, that you feel you can help break down the stereotype of what a film commissioner can do?
I think one of the important thing for us is, yes, a film commission is here to help a film to be a service, to facilitate, to bring an incentive, but it's also in the inside to help the local community to develop, to be better economically, culturally, to take advantage, not take advantage, but maximize the chances to take from the production and bring it back to the local community, so we can develop in our territories new things, new ways of new economical ways, or companies, or anything that can help from those movies and use them as a tool for us as well.
Yes, in the political way. It's also there to make the industry visible and talk about it and try to help and get the funds raised.
I think one of the last sort of things I wanted to talk about was we talked a little bit briefly about sort of the positive sides of the stereotypes, but I was wondering, historically, do you find that there are people who are really reluctant to see the other things that Switzerland has to offer? Have you had any challenges in terms of that, where you've really come up against people who don't want to see B and C?
Not really. I think, no, they're open. I don't think so. Not on my side, at least. The stereotypes are very strong. That's true. Chocolate, banks, and cheese. That's true.
They are true also.
And they're true. They're
not so bad.
Mountain, we have that.
Yeah, we do have that, and we don't. We're not in denial. We accept that, and we love it. For example, my state makes wine. Everyone thinks we are alcoholic. So some of us are alcoholic, but we like wine. But yeah, we don't refuse that. But we don't have only that. We have a lot of things to offer as well.
Right. So it's about utilizing the stereotypes and spinning them into these unique selling points, something positive that you can offer to international productions. That's what you would say.
Yeah, and the new stuff that is forming with like all the new companies coming, all the startups and spin-offs and working in movie and innovation, taking the innovation part. They're here in Cantu, in the Swiss Hub. You can check them out if you want. 3 companies are here, and they're working on really exciting stuff, yeah.
Maybe the very important point is to communicate that we are a really multicultural country. So really we have a lot of diversity, and we know how is to work with multicultural, because we are speaking a lot of languages, but we are also different from also by eating. So we are eating like Italian, and this is a very important point for me.
It's better than in Zurich.
I think that's a really interesting sort of point to end on, is that unique multicultural angle. And I think it's something that everyone who has similar issues can take away with them, is finding the ways in which you can take those stereotypes and turn them into something positive to draw in unique and interesting and new productions. I think this has been I found it really fascinating. Thank you guys so much. We're going to invite Jacqueline back on stage to sum up really quick. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriella and panelists. I'll just get you to stay here so we can get a photo at the end. We hope you have or can leave here feeling inspired to collaborate and connect with AFCI and our Film Commission family. It is truly global. Join us on our transformation journey. The recordings will be available within a week on the AFCI website and also on the Marché de Film. We've got some board members here. If the AFCI board want to raise their hands, please. If you want to come up and ask any questions of them or myself, we've also got Marge down the back here. If you want to wave Marge at everybody, feel free to come and have a chat to us. So thank you so much for supporting us in our first time here at the Marché de Film. Please, another round of applause for all of our panelists. Thank you. And can I just ask all of the AFCI team and board and any other speakers for a photo up on stage, please? Thank you.